You know, when we heard that the fully revised Yamaha MT-10 SP would be offered for sale here in Canada, we got pretty excited. After all, with its hyper-naked good looks, sporting enlarged intake ducts with twin-eyed monofocus LED headlights, you just know that this machine with its track-bred R1 DNA is built for wide-eyed fun. Also adding to the MT brand of fun, which by the way stands for Master of Torque, no kidding, is a new 6-axis IMU, which provides a full suite of electronic rider aids, including lean-sensitive traction control, slide control, wheelie control, engine brake management, and ABS, all with multiple levels of, well, control. Our MT also came with an up-down quick shifter. The other big news for 2022 is that the Yamaha MT-10 SP is the first Yamaha production motorcycle to be fitted with an Öhlins next-generation electronically controlled suspension. Super trick. But you don't have to take my word for it. Here now is this week's guest road tester, a rider who sampled an earlier edition of this motorcycle, Eric Heidendahl.
Well, you know, there's that old saying, there's no replacement for displacement, and this has got plenty of that, eh?
It seems like we've been here before, though, haven't we, with this R1 refresh?
Yeah, well, they have refreshed it. We've got all the riding modes now, and we've got the IMU. First of all, what was your first impression?
Well, I like the fact that they're letting the motor be exposed, so that's the beauty shot, if you like, is you can now see the engine, and it's what they call hyper naked now, right?
Yeah.
But this engine is, I mean, it's even better than the last one that I rode, because not only did they give you more mid-range torque, but apparently the fuel economy is better too, so it's incredible what they've done. And then the IMU in this thing will do just about everything. It'll prevent you from sliding the back wheel, from doing wheelies, from going too fast. So the electronics on this bike are very sophisticated.
So you like the engine?
Yeah, oh yeah. I mean, it's really too much for me. I wouldn't buy a motorcycle with this much horsepower. It's just asking for trouble, I think. So I guess when it comes down to who should buy this bike, it's definitely not for beginners, right?
Yeah,
and,
obviously, yeah.
And if you're the kind of rider that would like to get back to a more simplistic sort of motorcycle and just go and cruise, this isn't it either, because this is so sophisticated, you got to understand all the settings before you take off. So.
Yep. But it will deliver, and like for instance, you've got top drawer suspension, top drawer brakes. How did you like that part of the package?
That's a big change. The Öhlins up front, that's really good. As you were saying, there's lots of potholes on these roads, and you just don't feel them much. So they've done a good job with the suspension.
What did surprise me is for a hyper naked bike, especially one based on a full-on track bike like an R1.
Yeah.
The riding position is so open and comfortable. The saddle is wide. Like, what did you think of the riding position?
Yeah, no, that was another big change. I thought, well, it's subtle, but first of all, the seat was a little firmer, and the riding position now has forced you more over the tank, right? So your weight is now more over the front wheel than it was before. So I think that's a welcome change. It was very comfortable.
How did you like the new instrument pod? There's a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of stuff going on in the instrument pod. I frankly didn't get a chance to try it all yet, but the information was well displayed.
Yep.
I like the blue for the fuel. That was nice.
Yeah, the color screen is a nice addition because you can look down very quickly, and color identifying things like neutral is green. You know, like it stands out from the rest of the colors on the screen.
Oh, that was another thing. I tried my hand at the clutchless or shifting, right?
Yeah.
And that seems to work. That worked much better than I thought it would.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I was really surprised by that.
No, the more you play with that, the more it just becomes second nature. This is definitely not a motorcycle for a beginner.
Absolutely.
So what is this bike designed for?
So it's going to be for somebody that is as an experienced rider, and they're able to deal with the huge amounts of horsepower that are coming from this bike.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I didn't try it, but online it says that this is actually a wheelie machine that you can just pick it up and probably the first three gears no problem, right?
Yeah.
So you just wouldn't want to saddle a beginner with that kind of horsepower and performance, right?
Right. Anything's disappointed you? What would you change?
I'm still having trouble finding the side stand, but that's maybe me.
Yeah, it's small and it is definitely tucked under your foot.
It is.
I had the same problem. What's the one lasting impression?
Well, I was going to say that you can, with this bike, you can choose either miles per gallon or smiles per gallon, right?
Yes, yeah.
And it'll do both quite nicely, apparently. So that's very impressive, I have to say, yeah.
Well, thanks for joining us today, and you did a great job as usual, Eric.
Thank you.